The smartest SaaS partners I know, whether it's Salesforce, HubSpot, Zoho, Microsoft, insert whatever platform you're on, are usually the most stuck. So the smartest are the most stuck. Not because you're missing information, because you've got too much of it. You subscribe to newsletters, you listen to episodes of podcasts, you watch YouTube, TikTok, whatever it is. And you've also attended partner events and talked to peers. And every quarter, your revenue keeps falling behind the targets that you set for yourself. I know that pattern because I lived it. I first started following James 14 years ago. Back then, I was running a different business. I'd recently left corporate, and he was a coach, a business coach. And yes, being a director at Coca-Cola was definitely not the same as running your own business, so I decided to talk to him. So when I sold my business, I told myself I didn't need him anymore. I had all the frameworks, I had everything. He'd done a great job, and I was ready to just do it myself. I'd read his newsletter for years. I could coach myself through the next chapter. Well, that's what I thought. And that worked for about a month until it didn't. I was doing 60-hour weeks and spinning wheels. The hypocrisy wasn't lost on me. I coach, mentor, as I said before, Salesforce, HubSpot, you insert the partner that you are, for a living. I sit across from owners and tell them that they can't see their own business clearly because they're too close to it. They're too much in it. And there I was, trying to coach myself. Last year, I re-engaged James. Weekly grouped video calls, async communication between both of us. And two things changed that made a significant difference. The first wasn't something I actually thought we were going to start with, having worked with him twice before, gone there, left, come back. He made me pick the biggest pain point of the people I mentored, just one. So what is the biggest pain point, he said? And I was, had 5 of them. I was interchanging them on a weekly basis. I was confused. So no doubt the people trying to buy from me was confused. Then we turned that into the big promise. What's the one big promise that no one else in the market is delivering on for these clients, which is ultimately you? And I ended up plastering all over my LinkedIn profile and became the theme for everything I published. We created a content playbook, and that's what we ran everything from. So that was the first one, was really picking my who and making sure that I identified the biggest pain point and therefore the big promise. The second was a lot harder for me. He changed my offer. I was selling one-on-one mentoring. It was time consuming, but the real problem was worse than that. The person or the people I was mentoring only got my perspective. They never saw other, whether it's Zoho partners in Toronto who just tried a specific strategy, or a Salesforce partner in LA that had just cracked pricing or an offer. So he made me move to a group program. Same platforms, different businesses, everyone in the room learning from each other. And that was the move that made this significant difference. And to be honest, I resisted parts of it. Moving from one-on-one felt like I was watering down my offer to existing clients. Admitting my LinkedIn had been a feature rather than what a big promise is really meant to be wasn't fun either. And I had to get back on the tools myself. We were automating outreach, which was fantastic, but it was like that, right? It was scripted messages, and even though I'd written them myself, it wasn't really working. So I had to get behind the scenes and really start to fix that. But the numbers moved. One group program became 2, with circa 5 to 8 people in each, and profitability started to lift. My team and I used Claude to get my hours down to 30 hours a week. My clients love hearing experiences from group members, and that then flowed on to the results. And the part I care about most, my clients got the same makeover that I did. We repositioned them to one niche and changed the language of the big promise that they were delivering to that niche. One of my clients picked estate attorneys, one picked automation companies, one picked field service, one picked crate manufacturers. I think you get it. They're all different, and they're all running different platforms. Some are Zoho, some are Salesforce, some are Microsoft Business Central as an example. Now, the part I got wrong for too long might be hindering you right now listening or watching this. My and other podcasts, newsletters, YouTube, you name it, all that information you're getting. What you need is key decisions, just like I did. Sitting in a group call and hearing James coach others to change their business model made me rebuild mine. You can't get that from an episode, right? I can give you a case study, but it's never the same. The information doesn't change your behavior. To be honest, I listen at 1.5 times speed. Sometimes it just goes in one ear out the other. But someone who watches your specific business, calls the exact move you need to make this week, and doesn't let you off the hook, that is what changes your behavior. So this podcast is for you. If you've been hoping that listening to this podcast for a while or reading my newsletter, or you might have even tried a couple of things on yourself, is going to fix it, and your target still isn't moving, is it time we had a conversation? And that's all it would be. Not because you're not smart enough, you definitely are, but it's very hard to read the label from inside the jar. At worst, in 30 minutes, you'll walk away with something specific to apply right away that will move the needle, right? It's not going to change the whole business, but it will move the needle. But at best, you stop chasing your targets on your own, and the pressure comes off you and therefore off your team. You've got a trap or you've got a plan. Odds are you're probably in a trap. Mine was thinking I could coach myself. I couldn't. If yours is the same, go to talkpaul.com and let's talk.